No one laughed when the screen turned red, not yellow. Not orange, red meant only one thing. Danger. Archivist. Lurox leaned closer to the hologram. His four eyes narrowed. His breathing slowed. The Galactic survey system had completed its scan. Planet. Name. Earth region. Sol sector threat classification. Extreme death world life status. Active Eliorix froze active? That word should not be there. Death world's erased life. They did not grow it. They did not protect it. They did not allow intelligence. And yet, here it was. Lurox checked the data again. Then again. Then a third time. The numbers did not change. Gravity higher than standard tolerance. Atmosphere unstable and chemically aggressive. Extreme weather patterns across the entire surface. Frequent tectonic collapse. Radiation spikes. Predators everywhere, Lurox whispered. This world wants everything dead. And yet, something lived. The council chamber filled with tension. One counselor spoke carefully. Are we sure this is not a mistake? Another replied, voice tight. These scans were verified by 3 independent cores. A third voice broke the silence. What kind of species survives a planet like that? No one answered. Earth rotated slowly in the hologram. Blue oceans slammed against countenance. Massive storm systems twisted like living things. Lightning wrapped around the planet in violent arcs, and beneath it all, cities. Lights. Movement. Order. Lurox felt something cold move through his spine. He was assigned as observer. It was not an honor. It was a burden. His species evolved on a calm paradise world. Low gravity, no natural predators. Stable climate. Earth was the opposite of everything he understood. The probe entered Earth's orbit. Alarms screamed instantly. Warning. Gravity fluctuation warning. Atmospheric turbulence warning. Magnetic INS to little y. The probe shook. Lurox tightened his grip, then the camera stabilized. And he saw them, humans walking in open spaces. Standing under dark clouds, moving with confidence. One human stood on the edge of a tall structure. Lightning struck the ground. Nearby, the human did not run. They did not panic. They watched. Lurox zoomed in. The human's heart rate was steady. Breathing calm. Muscles relaxed, no fear response. That was impossible. The probe scanned deeper. Humans built cities near fault lines. They lived beside oceans that destroyed coastlines. They worked under a sky that tried to kill them daily. Lurox recorded everything. These beings, he spoke softly, are not surviving by avoiding danger. Pause. They are surviving by facing it. Another alert flashed. Artificial signal detected. Lurox's stomach tightened. The humans had noticed the probe. The camera turned. A human looked directly into the lens. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the human raised one hand. Not a weapon, a wave. Lurox felt his heart skip. That gesture was not defensive. It was not fearful. It was casual, like Earth itself was harmless. The human smiled. Lurox had studied thousands of species. That smile was different. It was not empty. It was confident. He sent a message to the council. Earth is not just a death world, he said slowly. It is a death world that trained its people. Silence followed. Then a reply. Do the humans know what kind of planet they live on? Lurox watched the screen again. Storms? Fire? Movement? Yes, he answered. They call it home. Probe alarms grew louder. Atmospheric interference increased. Power levels dropped. The planet was pushing back. Earth did not like being watched, as the feed began to distort. The human spoke. Audio cracked. Words barely clear, but the meaning landed hard. Welcome. The human said. The signal cut. The chamber stayed silent. Lurox leaned back. Trembling, the galaxy had made a terrible mistake. They thought Earth was dangerous. They had not yet learned the truth. The planet was not the threat. The humans were. The Council did not sleep that cycle. Screens replayed the same images again and again. Storms tearing cities apart. Waves swallowing land. Fire breaking through the ground. And humans. Still there, alive. Working. Archivist Lurox stood alone in Kazit. In the observation chamber, he replayed the final moment. The human wave. The smile. It bothered him. Not because it was hostile, because it was normal. A message arrived from High Analysis Command. Deploy deeper scans. Observe behavior patterns. Determine threat level of species. Human Lurox felt a strange tension in his chest. Threat level. They lived on a planet that tried to erase them every day. What more proof did the galaxy need? The second probe entered Earth's atmosphere. It screamed. Metal warped. Systems flickered. Wind tore at its frame. Lurox whispered, "No living thing should fly through this." But the probe survived. Barely. The visuals sharpened. Below, a massive storm rolled over land. Rain fell sideways. Lightning struck without warning. The ground shook, and there, humans were still moving. One group stood near the coast. The ocean rose like a wall. Lurox braced. The wave hit. Water smashed into the shore. Structures collapsed. For a moment, the camera showed nothing but foam and debris. Then movement. Humans climbed. Out. Coughing. Bleeding. Laughing. Froze. They were laughing. Medical scans activated automatically. Broken bones. Torn muscle fibers. Internal damage. Yet the humans stood again. They helped each other. They rebuilt. One human pointed at the sea and shouted something. Others responded with raised fists. Not anger challenge. This world wounds them constantly, Lurox murmured. And they answer it by standing up again. Another feed opened. A dry landmass cracked under heat. The ground glowed red. Volcanoes erupted. Ash filled the sky. Lurox expected evacuation. Instead, he saw controlled movement. Humans guiding others away. Protective gear. Prepared routes. They had plans. For the planet itself. A council analyst spoke over the channel. They adapt faster than projections. Lurox replied quietly, "They adapt because they must." Data continued to pour in. Human muscle density higher than average. Bone strength reinforced naturally. Pain tolerance unusually high. But the strangest reading. Stress increased focus. Fear sharpened them. Lurox leaned back. On most worlds, fear weakened species. On Earth, fear forged them. The probe tracked a lone human. High altitude. Cold winds. Low oxygen. The human climbed steadily, hands bleeding. Breath heavy, but eyes focused. One slip. The human fell. Lurox felt his heart seize. The human caught himself. hung there, then climbed again. The probe zoomed. Closer. Heart rate spiked. Adrenal response surged, but no retreat. The human reached the peak, and stood, alone against the sky. He should be dead. A council voice said. Lurox shook his head slowly. No, he answered. He is exactly where he belongs. Another transmission, interrupted. Military Council channel. Archivist, confirm something for us. Yes. If these humans ever leave their planet, what happens when they face easier worlds? Lurox did not answer immediately. He watched. Earth rotate. Violent. Beautiful. Unforgiving. Then he spoke. They will feel lighter, he said. Faster, stronger. Pause, and bored. Silence followed. The final feed for the cycle activated a human city at night. Rain fell gently. Lights glowed. Children ran through puddles. Adults walked calmly. No panic. No fear, just life. Lurox felt something unfamiliar. Respected. He prepared his report. Final line drafted carefully. Earth is not dangerous because it kills life. Earth is dangerous because it trains survivors. He stopped. Then added one more sentence. And humans are its final product. Far below, lightning flashed again. And humanity did not look away. The report did not stay secret for long. It never does. Within one rotation, copies spread across the galactic network. Within two, panic followed, not fear, concern. Worlds classified Earth as a death world long ago. But this was different. This time, the galaxy realized something worse. The planet had not broken humans. It had perfected them on the council floor. Representatives argued loudly. Primitive species, one declared. They use crude tools. Another slammed a limb on the table. Crude tools that work under pressure that kills us. Archivist Lurox stood silently at the edge of the chamber. He had stopped defending humans. He no longer needed to. The data did that for him. A military projection appeared in the center. Simulations. Human soldiers operating on low-gravity worlds. Results. Updated. Speed increased by 40%. Jump height doubled. Endurance far beyond norms. One commander whispered, they would feel like gods. A second simulation followed. Humans on moderate planets. Weather stable. Predators weak. Gravity kind. The humans adapted instantly. They grew faster, they grew stronger. They smiled more. That is the problem, Lurox said calmly. Every eye turned to him. When danger disappears, he continued, humans don't weaken. They improve. Silence fell. A council member leaned forward. What happens if they fight us? Lurox did not hesitate. They won't fight unless pushed. And if pushed, Lurox exhaled slowly. They will not stop. The chamber erupted. Emergency protocols activated. Observation priority. Humanity, no contact, no threats, no mistakes. But mistakes were already happening. A Fringe Exploration Guild ignored the warnings. They wanted proof. They sent a landing team. The shuttle descended into Earth's upper atmosphere. Turbulence shook the hull. Heat climbed. Dangerously. Alarms screamed. The captain panicked. This planet hates us. On the ground, humans watched the fireballs streak across the sky. One pointed. Another raised a communicator. Emergency response teams mobilized instantly. The alien shuttle crashed into a forest. Flames burned. Metal twisted inside. The crew waited. For death, it didn't come. Instead, the hatch was torn open. By hands, human hands. Fresh air rushed in. A human voice followed. Double quotes, "Hey, you alive?" The aliens froze. They expected scavengers, predators. They got rescuers. Humans carried them. Al protected them from rain, from animals, from the cold. One alien trembled uncontrollably. Gravity crushed his joints. A woman adjusted his stance and lifted. Penji effortlessly. "Easy," the human said. "Earth hits hard at first." That sentence reached the council 2 cycles later. Lurox listened to the playback. "Earth hits hard at first." The alien crew survived. Every one of them. Medical scans confirmed something unexpected. Human first aid reduced shock. Human methods stabilized. Organs. Human calm prevented panic. They didn't just survive Earth. They survived because of humans. Back on the council floor, arguments shifted tone. Not fear now. Realization. "These humans don't just endure danger," a diplomat said. "They understand it?" Lurox nodded. "They were born into it." Another simulation played human children exposed to stress, not harmed, strengthened, learning. Risk early, learning recovery early. Learning, loss early. A council elder spoke quietly, a species raised by a death world. He paused. "Is not a victim?" Lurox finished the thought. "It is a weapon." The words echoed longer than intended. A final message arrived from Earth, simple, clear. Peaceful. "We detected your probes. You can talk to us. We don't bite." Lurox stared at the message, then smiled slightly. "They knew. Of course they knew." He sent his reply. "Understood. We are reconsidering our approach." On Earth, lightning struck again. Humans barely noticed. Somewhere deep in the galaxy, fear finally found its name. The council delayed contact for as long as possible. They watched. They measured. They hesitated. But Earth did not wait. The next signal came without warning. Clear. Direct. Human. "This is Earth," the message said. "We know you're watching." Pause. "We." Don't mind. That single sentence shook the chamber. They didn't threaten. They didn't demand. They acknowledged. Archivist Lurox stood at the console as the transmission continued. "We've seen your probes. We've pulled wreckage from orbit. We've helped your people." A slight pause followed. "If you want to talk, let's talk." No apology, no fear, just confidence. The military council erupted instantly. They detected stealth probes. They traced encrypted signals. "That's impossible without advanced sensors." Lurox raised one hand. "It's Earth," he said calmly. "Impossible is their environment." Impossible is their environment. A live feed followed. Human officials sat calmly in a room of glass and steel. Behind them, storms raged outside the windows. Lightning flashed. No one flinched. The human speaker leaned forward. "We've read your classification," she said. "Death World." She smiled slightly. "You're not wrong." Council members shifted uncomfortably. "But you missed something," the human continued. "This world didn't just make us tough. It taught us how to care under pressure." Another human took over. "We build hospitals in earthquake zones. We send aid into fires. We train for floods." He paused. "This is normal for us." Lurox watched the room. No armor. No weapons visible. Only calm faces. A council general spoke sharply. "What happens if someone attacks your planet?" The humans exchanged glances. Then one answered simply, They'd regret choosing our home ground. The transmission ended. No threats, but the meaning was clear. Earth did not fear invasion. Earth expected it. Days passed, more data arrived. Human industry continued despite disasters. Human cities rebuilt faster than projections. Human morale remained high. They joked about storms. They named them. They filmed them. Rocks. Reviewed historical files. Earthquakes, plagues, wars, extinctions. Humans survived every one. They don't endure disasters, Lurok said quietly. They plan around them. A research team proposed a test. Send a controlled delegation. Low risk. Observe. Reaction. The ship landed near a coastal city. Heavy rain, strong winds. High gravity. The alien delegation struggled to walk. Humans adjusted pace instantly. One alien slipped. A human caught them without thinking. No rush, the human said. You'll get used to it. That phrase again. You'll get used to it. Inside a shelter, aliens watched humans coordinate relief efforts. Fast decisions. Clear communication. No panic. Children helped carry supplies. Elders gave instructions. Everyone moved with purpose. This planet should have broken them, one alien whispered. Lurox replied softly. It tried. A sudden aftershock hit. The ground shook violently. Some aliens screamed. Humans reacted instantly. They shielded others. They moved people to safety. They checked injuries. When it ended, a human laughed nervously. Guess Earth wanted to say hello. They moment sealed it. Back at the council, classifications were updated. Earth. Extreme death world. Humans. Adaptive prime species. But, Lurox added a personal note. Do not mistake kindness for weakness. They are peaceful because they choose to be. As if on cue, a final human message arrived. Friendly tone. Firm meaning. Welcome to Earth. Just remember, this planet raised us. Somewhere in the chamber, a council member whispered, we should never make them angry. Lurox stared at the blue planet spinning on the screen. Storms flashing. Life thriving. And for the first time, the galaxy understood. Earth was not dangerous. Humans were. The galaxy tried to be careful. Very careful. New laws passed quietly. No military ships near Earth. No forced trade. No cultural pressure. Humans were labeled high risk to provoke. It sounded respectful. It was fear. Archivist Lurox watched the changes unfold. Borders shifted. Routes diverted. Entire fleets avoided Earth's region. The galaxy did not shun humanity. It tiptoed around it. Humans noticed. Of course they did, on Earth. Leaders reviewed the data. Trade ships changing paths. Exploration probes. Diplomatic silence from nearby systems. One human analyst frowned. They're scared, she said. Another nodded. They think space makes us dangerous. A third human smiled faintly. They should worry about what happens when we leave home. That sentence never left Lurox's mind. The first real mistake came from the outer fringe. Raider group. Independent. Desperate. They believed the stories were exaggerated. They wanted proof. Their target was a human research station, remote, isolated, orbiting a gas giant, easy prey. The attack lasted for minutes. Alarms screamed, hull breached, gravity failed. The raiders boarded. Confidently, then they met humans, not soldiers, not scientists, engineers, people raised on Earth. The station spun wildly. Low gravity, chaos. The raiders lost balance. Instantly, humans adjusted. They pushed off walls, used momentum, used tools. A wrench became a weapon. A cable became a trap. One raider fired wildly. A human slammed into him. Hard, bone cracked. The raider screamed. The human didn't stop. Emergency logs recorded breathing. Heavy. Focused, not. Panicked. The humans retook their station. Every raider was alive. Restrained, terrified. One. Begged through broken teeth. "What are you?" A human answered calmly. "People who fix problems?" The footage reached the council within hours. Silence followed. Lurox replayed the moment again. And again, "They didn't kill them," a council member said. "They could have," Lurox nodded. "That's the point." A council general leaned forward. "If they had wanted revenge, they wouldn't have stopped." Lurox finished. Earth responded formally. "Short message, clear tone. This was not an act of war. But it will be the last warning." The galaxy listened. Human ships began appearing beyond Earth's orbit. Exploration vessels. Not warships, but built strong, overbuilt, reinforced. They build like they expect failure. A council engineer noted. Lurox corrected him. They build like they expect survival. Humans landed on other worlds. Gentle worlds. Calm skies. Low gravity. They walked easily. Ran faster. Lifted. Heavier loads. Local species watched in disbelief. Humans didn't struggle. They thrived. One alien asked quietly, "How do you endure this work?" A human shrugged. "It's easier than home." That phrase spread faster than any report. Back on Earth. Storms came and went. Earthquakes shook. Cities, humans rebuilt again. Stronger, smarter, prepared. Lurox updated his files one final time. Not for the council. For history, Earth is a death world. He wrote, "But humanity is what happens when life refuses to quit." The galaxy no longer feared Earth's storms, or its monsters, or its gravity. It feared what humans would become. When the universe finally stopped trying to kill them, the galaxy adjusted. That was what it told itself. Trade routes stabilized. Diplomatic channels reopened. Exploration continued. On the surface, everything looked normal again. But something had changed. Archivist Lurox felt it every time he looked. At Earth, the planet spun calmly on the display. Storms flashed. Oceans churned. Fault lines shifted, and humans lived on it anyway. Years passed. Human colonies appeared on distant worlds. Harsh worlds. Quiet worlds. Worlds that once seemed impossible to settle. Humans didn't just survive there, they improved them. On low-gravity planets, humans built towering structures. They adapted training routines. They became faster, stronger. They laughed as they worked. On toxic worlds, they built filters. On frozen worlds, they built heat. On unstable worlds, they built redundancy. They planned for failure because failure was familiar. Alien observers struggled to understand. One asked Lurox quietly, "Why don't humans fear danger?" Lurox answered after a long pause, "Because danger was their first teacher." The final report was requested by the High Council. A permanent classification. Something that would stand for centuries. Lurox stood before them. Older now, wiser, he did not bring charts. He did not bring numbers. He brought history. Earth is classified. As a death world, he began. Murmurs followed. He raised one hand. But that is incomplete. Most death worlds kill life. Earth shapes it. Images played. Humans rescuing others during storms. Humans lifting fallen aliens. Humans rebuilding again and again. They evolved under pressure, Lurox continued. They adapted to pain. They learned cooperation because isolation meant death. A council elder spoke. And if humanity ever chooses conquest, Lurox met his gaze. Then the galaxy will not face an army. It will face survivors. Silence filled the chamber. Lurox finished softly. Humans do not dominate because they are cruel. They dominate because they endure. The final classification was approved, displayed across the network, clear.permanent.earth, the death world humans, the species that thrives on Ita far away, on Earth. Rain fell gently, children played, adults worked. Lightning flashed in the distance. No one panicked. Humanity looked up at the stars, and for the first time, the stars looked back. With respect.